here we've got a nice ice lolly for the giraffes in this heat. And they've also had some food put up as well. So hopefully you get some lovely photographs of our giraffes. So let me introduce you. This is Ailish. She's the oldest. She's 8 years old. And then here you've got Molly. She's 6 years old. And then in the shade over there we've got Maggie, the youngest. She is 5 years old. So they're very young for giraffes. Giraffes can actually live into the 30s. 37 was the oldest on record. In the wild, they'll usually live to about 15, 20 years old. So our giraffes are very young, got many years ahead of themselves. They're very tall for 5, 6 and 8. Giraffes are even tall when they're born. They're about 6 foot tall when they're born. And this is because mum's pregnant for 14 months, so they have a long time to develop in the womb. And when they're born, they have quite a rude awakening to the world because the mum stands up when she's giving birth. So it's a bit of a drop to the floor. But they're standing within 20 minutes to an hour after birth. Now, whilst we've got the face here, I'll just show you talk about their lovely faces. I'll just get the demonstration of the tongue here. So you see the tongue there. Their tongue's about 50 centimetres long. So from my elbow to the tip of my finger, that's how long their tongue is. And you'll kind of notice the colour, kind of black and purple. This is because the giraffe will spend most of the time with its tongue outside of its mouth. So it's a coating to protect it from the sun. That's why it's black and purple in colour. We've also got Maggie here as well. Maggie's joined us. Maggie's very greedy. She's very quickly. Just have a little think. There we go. So yeah, it kind of acts like an elephant's trunk as well, kind of wraps around the food and brings in that way. Now if you look at their noses, they've got a really good sense of smell, and they can actually close their nostrils to protect themselves from sand or insects going up their nostrils. So they can close their nostrils. And now if we look at those beautiful eyes, very good eyesight giraffes. A lot of ladies are jealous of these eyelashes. They don't need mascara for these eyelashes. But these eyelashes again will protect their eyes from things like sandstorms and insects flying around. And they've got really good eyesight. Their eyes are kind of set on the sides, so they can kind of have a bit of awareness of what's going on behind them. And also, being so tall means they're very popular out in Africa. They can see about 2 kilometres in the distance. So a lot of other animals want to hang out with these guys. A lot of zebras like hanging out with the giraffes because they act as a good lookout. And what's really good about their eyesight, being so tall, seeing so far in the distance, they also need to know where they're walking. So they can kind of focus in the distance and focus on the ground at the same time. So they've got really good eyesight. Now a lot of people ask what these 2 horn-like things are. They're called ossicones. So it's bone with fur covering it. And did anyone watch Africa, the Attenborough programme a few months ago? We saw the 2 male giraffes having a fight. They use their necks as a weapon, but they'll also use these ossicones as a weapon as well. Now the females usually have the little lump there and the 2 ossicones at the top, and they'll use them to kind of move food out of the way. They won't get violent with each other, but the male giraffes will use them as weapons. And the males sometimes even grow more ossicones at the back as well, so they'll use those as weapons, but the females, they won't use them for fighting, just kind of for moving branches around so they can get their food.